Hello! If you missed the first few videos, my name is Raquel. I own a small thrift shop in Ontario, Canada. I wanted to do a little tour for you guys because the first few videos were just vlogs and I never have properly showed the store. So without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, and yeah, let's ignore my nose. My nose gets very dry in the winter and I was picking at it because I was bad and now it's all red. Okay? Okay. The first thing you're gonna see when you walk through the doors is a chalkboard sign. It just has a bit of information about what we sell. Although we don't sell hot chocolate and apple cider anymore because that just didn't go as well as I wanted it to. Then you're also gonna see some pictures of this building when it was a schoolhouse and the students. Yes, so this building was actually built in 1862. It still has the original floors, so that is pretty cool. To your right, you're gonna see two shopping carts that I got for free from some people that my parents know. People don't use them often, but they're there if they need them. And then you're also gonna see baby and toddler bins, or baby/toddler bins. There's two $1 bins and one $3 bin. Right in front of you, we have a pin post. I buy pins in bulk from eBay. I find some good ones and I put them on there and they're for sale. A little further up, there is a kids rack. I just have the one rack. I do have a lot of kids clothing though, so I would like to find another spot for another rack. A little to your left is going to be the first racks of clothing. So that's all men's clothing. It goes pants, shorts, long sleeves / sweaters, and on the other side of it, jackets, pajamas, button-up shirts, and t-shirts. If we move a little further down, we have a couple of shoe racks. As you can see, we have quite a bit more women's shoes than men's shoes just because in general I just get more women's stuff, but there's a few pairs of men's shoes there too. Behind the shoes are sinks for myself to wash dishes because as you're gonna see in a little bit, we sell ice cream here as well, so it's like a thrift shop / ice cream shop. Ideally, I didn't want them in this location. It's kind of random. They're just like there where customers can see, but this was the only place where they could really be put, where there was existing plumbing. And then there's the bathroom / fitting room. I have a really big bathroom, but not really any space to have a fitting room just because of, you know, the size of this area, and I also don't have the resources to put into buying or making a fitting room somewhere at the moment. As you can see, I have hooks and mirrors in here. What I would like to do eventually is get a better overhead light so that people can see themselves a little better and judge the clothing a little better. To the left of the bathroom are some purses. I just recently had a woman who actually helped me secure this place, a realtor. She just donated a few purses to me. To the left of the purses, we have some bins of scarves, socks, some mittens, belts, phone cases, kind of miscellaneous stuff. I would eventually like to better organize this area or have proper hooks for these items, but right now this is what I have going on. As you're going to be able to tell throughout this video, there's a lot of things that I want to improve on, but you know, everything takes time. If we turn around, we're getting back into the clothing racks. So we already saw the men's racks, so that middle rack is women's, and so you're gonna see sweaters, button-ups, then long sleeves, and if you turn around to the other side, you will see t-shirts, tank tops, and jackets and coats. Now moving back to the back area to the left of those bins, I have two hat racks. So as you can see, I have a bunch of baseball caps and a few winter hats. I'm trying to transition right now from winter items into more spring items. And if you turn back around again, you are going to see the last rack. I say rack, but it's like 3 racks together and they're double-sided. So the last row of racks, I should be saying. On the one side, there is women's pants and shorts. On the other side, there is dresses, blazers, bras, bralettes, and then there is pajamas. So we're at the back of the store again. As you can see, I have another door that says employees only. This leads to my storage area at the back. I won't be showing that because it's a mess. It's very dark back there. But yes, it's there. It's not a big space, but it's enough to store my stuff. Okay, beside the door, you're going to see jewelry on on one of these beautiful windowsills. So the one on the windowsill is mainly earrings, some scrunchies, few watches, and a couple random items. You're gonna see a pegboard to the left of that with necklaces and bracelets. To the left of the jewelry pegboard, there is my vintage rack. Pieces on the vintage rack are higher priced because those items are bought by me. It's just the one rack. It's just like something fun that I like to do for my store. Speaking of that, those are higher priced. I didn't mention going through the regular racks, but I think my prices are very reasonable for a thrift store. I do get donations here, and it makes a good name for the store when people see that we actually have like real thrift store prices, because as you know, a lot of thrift stores have been price gouging recently. Not going to name any names or anything, and I do all the pricing myself. I don't necessarily have like a price guide. It's just kind of from my brain. Certain pieces are just going to be a certain amount, and I just judge it based on the quality and the brand and everything like that. So yeah, okay, now that we're all done with the racks and towards the back of the store, we are moving upwards. So to the left or in front of the vintage rack, there's another beautiful big window with the big windowsill. I have some cups on there right now. I don't have many dishes because what happened recently was I had a woman in here. She was using a portion of my space to sell like collectible dishware items and other collectible items. The problem was it was just kind of not aligning with my prices and it got confusing. So I am just starting to kind of try and get like a few pieces of dishes in here, but my main thing is never going to be dishes. This is always going to be more of a clothing thrift store. And then to the left of that windowsill is my new bookshelf, which if you watch my second vlog, I believe I put that together for that vlog. And I actually picked out a book from it yesterday and I'm reading it. This is the book I picked out from it, All the Light We Cannot See. I haven't read a book in so long and I'm sick and tired of always looking at my phone, looking at TikTok. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick out a book and I'm gonna read it. I like it so far. It seems very familiar to me though. I feel like I know this story. Beside the bookshelf is my bench. People use the bench sometimes if they got ice cream, they sit on the bench, or if they're just waiting for somebody, people sit on the bench. And then above the bench is the last big window. I just put out these random items on this windowsill yesterday because as I said, I'm trying to get more dishes in here and whatnot. So I have a cupcake holder, a veggie platter tray, just to fill some space there. Now we're getting into the front of the store. There is a rack, and that is my rack to sort through clothing on. And then you see my desk. On the whiteboard, there's some information about the store. I use a Square POS system. It's worked quite well for me. Once in a while it does like freeze, which I don't love, but other than that, the Square system has worked pretty well for me, and obviously it tracks everything for you and stuff like that, which is great. Above my desk you'll see some pictures. Those are just from Amazon. I thought they looked nice. And now the star of the show, the ice cream. All the lids are on them right now because it's still winterish. Above the freezer on the wall is the sizes and their prices. I did have a list of the flavors on the wall too, but I got a new order of ice cream a few weeks ago, so now I need to redo that. To the side of the ice cream freezer, there's where I keep my bowls and my scoops for the ice cream. Then I have a shelf that I DIY'd onto the wall. I cut the wood by hand, not like by hand with a handsaw. I added that for my hot chocolate and apple cider stuff, but that just didn't really work out well for me. Nobody was buying it, so I can't put money into something because I was buying milk for hot chocolate and milk goes bad quite quickly and apple cider goes bad quite quickly, so it needs to be worth it, whereas ice cream, you know, can stay good for a long time. But yeah, then as you can see on the strip of the wall kind of above the ice cream area, I have some circular paintings. But yeah, underneath those paintings it leads back to the front door. So that's my thrift store. As you can tell, it's not a very big space. This is only about 1,000 square feet. There's definitely more I could add to it. I just need the resources, time, and items to add to it. I'm pretty proud of what I've created here. It's March now and the store's been picking up a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, because if you've been following my videos, you know that the winter was pretty rough with getting sales and stuff like that. So we're getting into the spring. I'm so excited to start making some actual money so I can pay my bills. Yeah, any questions about my store? I want to do a Q&A video someday. I also want to say thank you. My second video in particular got over 1,000 views, which is pretty cool to me. But anyways, with all that said, I think it's time for y'all to get out of my store. Goodbye.